Just gonna wait for the rest real quick. Habibo, Benny, Ivan, Mox, Striker, me, Marilla. Alright. Mox not making it today, so we're just 9 people? Okay. Damn. Well, it's Adelaide. What do you expect? We had a great race with not many people in Portland. At Striker. Say Long Beach then. No. I don't care. But yeah, I guess that's what to expect from circuit. If you have a circuit like Adelaide in the calendar, it's like Monaco. People don't want to bother actually driving around all around the circuit. Tim, do you know where your teammate is? Okay. Counting. Okay. Appreciate it. Considering you're only, I think, waiting for 2 people, we are gonna drive. If we're 8, we're gonna be 8. If we're 7, we're gonna be 7. It just means more points for people. And on a circuit like Adelaide, I think people are not gonna care too much. They're just gonna be like, okay, let me just finish this race. There's Ivan. Okay, we're 8. So we're now just waiting for Meme Ruler, but I'm just gonna start for a second. Because there's actually 2 things I want to mention, and I'm pretty sure one thing people can already imagine what I'm gonna say. With the simple thing of it's okay to have disagreeings with steward decisions, but there's no use in making a complaint about something the stewards can't even have control of. Just feel like starting saying that because obvious confrontations, especially when there are people joining the conversation trying to rile up others without even having proper standpoints or being involved in anything. There's that part. Just saying this because it's not a good situation for the stewards to be in. It's not a good situation for the race director like me to be in because I have to mention it. And have to be the party pooper. And it's not a good situation for maybe even drivers to end up in because it's not really necessary. If there's something to mention, there are formal ways to either discuss it with people or to get further what's it called? Further infos on situations and such. But yeah, with that out of the way, round 7. And I think the last street circuit, which is Adelaide. Which is also, might I add to it, the last circuit outside of the US, if I don't fucked up my math. We are gonna have quali groups for the simple fact of it being Adelaide. The circuit is rather large for the in consideration of the other circuits we've driven, but we're still gonna use what we can to make quali easier for everybody, for them to have a free circuit and such. The groups are, as always, in the race control chat. It's not as fancy as always because Blood didn't make them and I did. But I think they're still relatively clear. Considering I think we're missing 2 people from group 1. We might move a person from group 2 into group 1. Do you know if you can edit the bottom of group 2 into group 1, and then we have that, and then we have it that way, so we have 4-4. So technically group 1 is Tim, Ben, Ivan, and David, and group 2 is Max, Habibo, Ben, and Jens. Of course, as always, I'll give further updates from Group 1 end, Group 2 start, Group 2 end, and everything in the chat. Let me just join the server real quick. Besides that, because the question was asked, yes, the tire rule applies. We have push to pause again. We're on the street circuit. Also, considering it's a long circuit, we're mostly probably, if someone spins and ends up on the racing line, work with full course yellows instead of full cautions. Second thing is because it obviously happened last week and ended in something you probably saw in the stewarding things, with someone just deciding to join the server even though they weren't supposed to and killing people. Next time this happens, which hopefully never happens again because the server should be more focusing on the whitelist, we're red flagging it, or I'm red flagging it, so we can have proper results of it again. Therefore, considering this is also Adelaide, and I said after Iowa this is probably the second circuit we're going to use this thing for, red flag procedure is well, I'll make it, it's a bit easier to make it that way. That's why I'm going to explain it again. Is we're going to start in a full course yellow, and then we're getting, or you're getting, the race director command of the full course yellow ending and a red flag being shown. And then you'll immediately, once the red flag is shown, stop on circuit. So we're able to properly get screenshots of everything. Once the screenshots are done, you'll just wait for further info what we're doing, and then if you are slowly driving back to the pits, we're just leaving it at that. Just wait for infos after that moment. I hope it's not happening. I also hope we're not over timing that. Considering this is the shortest race in lap distance wise. But yeah. Besides that, any further questions, concerns, bitches, moans, whatever? Because if not, we're gonna go into the commentating booth and you guys can go into the. If you all want to chill in the VC together, you guys go there. And we're gonna get the show on the road. Honestly, wait, let me look how long quali is. I'll type it in. It's probably at around, considering we have 26 minutes, depending how long it takes for the green flag to show, it either actually gonna be 10 or 12 minutes or whatever. I actually don't know how Split planned the red light. So just read the chat and wait for the instructions. I'll give enough info on it. Alrighty. Then I wish you guys good luck, and we'll probably see each other later. Oh, geez, mate, you're faster than me.
There we go. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, we are here in Adelaide for round 7 of the DRC Indycar Championship. The last street track, as TMC mentioned in the briefing. We've got Mox watching from the standings today. Hello, Mox. How's it going? And yeah. We'll eventually go into quali in a moment. We'll give it a few minutes though before we do that. And yeah, I was speaking to Jens Lebau before the race, and he was saying that he is very confident about his lap times going into Adelaide. He's the fastest on the practice board at the minute, only guy in the 1 minute 15s. In fact, his teammate is the closest, and he's only just scraped into the 116s. So, or sorry, the 117s. So, yeah, very good for Jens Lebau. So far, so good. Obviously, practice doesn't mean anything in terms of the actual race. So we could have something completely unexpected happen in the race. But yeah, look for Jens Lebau to be the man to watch today, making his return after a few races with illness and everything. So yeah, let's hope he can have a good race. P12 in the minute at the minute for him in the standings. 1 win and 1 P3 out of his 2 races. In fact, apart from Max Simmons, who lost his streak last weekend, he is the only driver to finish on the podium in every race that they have attended. So yeah, Jens Lebau out of the championship fight. He is nearly 200 points back. That is unrecoverable, but yeah, he's going to hope for a good weekend here today. Hope for giving his teammates some boosts in that championship fight.
I couldn't have said it any better. Probably because I don't have the thing open.
Yeah, I'm just switching through like 4 channels in the Discord at the minute just to go through the standings and the calendar.
If I remember right, okay, I have a 50-50 chance of next week is the road course or the oval, because I know the last race is a road course.
So next week we have Alabama, then the week after that is Nashville, and then we finish with Laguna Seca.
Oh, so we have 2 road courses again. Oh, that's nice. Hopefully a few more people in Alabama.
Yeah, I would expect we do get a few more. Mox is The only reason is just time constraints as to why he can't attend, and Dragon is feeling ill. Otherwise, we would have had at least 11. But yeah, a few other drivers we should expect back before the end of the season as well. Mario Cat, Ash Hamilton, Boris Shakajev, and maybe even Sven Hilger.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably see Boris tomorrow.
Yeah. For the Le Mans Ultimate Championship, yep. Starting off tomorrow. Import him out. Looking forward to that, to say the least. I did see that you switched your sign up to Hypercar.
I trained too much Peugeot. I can't switch 2 days before the championship to a new car.
We are looking good on sign-ups as well, as Bibovic hits the wall. I think we are now 17 to 18, so almost at capacity for the Le Mans Ultimate Championship. If you do feel like joining though, please sign up and we'll see if we can get you in. Back to IndyCar though. Practice has officially concluded, so qualifying will start any moment now. And yeah, I'm looking at this. This is a new track to me. I'm looking at the layout and I'm thinking, okay, there is quite a few overtaking opportunities. The one thing I don't like about this track though is that random chicane at the start of the lap. What is that about? I wonder if we can see someone go through that. Who's number 9? Benjamin Klaus. Yeah, so they are taking it flat out, but that didn't work for Benjamin Klaus. He hits the wall immediately. They are trying to take it flat out, but yeah, that is very risky considering track limits and as we saw with Benjamin there spinning the car out. So it is a risky game. Would you say it's more than possible to take flat out?
If the setup fits, yes. If the setup doesn't fit, like for me when I test drove it for the racing distance, no.
Okay, let me ask it this way then: Will we see the pace cars take it flat out?
No.
Boring.
More on that on the formation lap.
So we will go to the quali groups now. The first 4 drivers to go will be Tim Course, Ben Neal, Ivan Tomani, and David Apanga. They will have the first 10 to 12 minutes in qualifying before we switch over to the second group. As we wait for the clock to hit 0, and we can get this qualifying session underway. I have bumped up your volume as well. I did have you on 70% before, not 100, which is probably why you were so quiet on the stream. So that should be better now. And yes, so Tim Course, Ben Neal, Ivan Tomani, and David Apanga. We are a few drivers short. Who are we missing? There's David Apanga. And there is Max Simmons. So yeah, qualifying will get underway in a moment.
It's a yellow flag from.
We're actually under red flags still. I'm not seeing any yellow flags. So if you were Tim Course, would you be saying to yourself, look, I'm 40 points back in the championships. Fight's still on, of course, but he's going to need a good result here. What would you say is his strategy today?
Get through and try to not bin it.
Has been a common theme, I will admit.
We saw a lot in last week's race that a lot can happen, and Max actually had a really big stinker.
He did, yeah. He finished. Let me just check the final results. Finished P8, his worst finish of the season. By far, actually. No sugarcoating it, really. His worst finish since before that was P2. So yeah, it would have been a massive gain for Tim Course if he was a bit higher. He did finish 3 positions ahead of Max Simmons in that race, though, but it is only a 6-point gain that he got from last race. So he's going to want to swing the tides slightly more in this race.
And the pit lane opens, and out they all go.
Out they go. Tim Course, Ben Neal, David Apanga, and Ivan Tilmani. As we see them file through the first chicane. At the moment, Ben Neal. Oh, David Apanga's gone off already. He's done the good old Baku technique. Lewis Hamilton 2021. He's left the magic on.
Especially on cold tires, like turn 3, turn 4 are not.
Yeah,
really
they're going to
nice.
be brutal. At the start of qualifying.
This one is also going to be quite the interesting one because it leads onto a really long straight.
Really long straight, yeah. Probably no overtaking through that corner, but when they get to the end of this long straight, probably the best place to use push to pass as well. We will see some overtakes into the harsh braking zone.
I mean, you say we won't see overtaking this, but that's what I said about Portland turn 10, and look how many we got there.
That is true. That is true. And so Tim Course is the first man on track, so we'll watch him set his first lap. We come around the final corner. Sticks to the left-hand side. Will eventually move over to the right. He does. And through the chicane we go. He doesn't take it flat out like other drivers. It will cost him time, but it is a safer option. As we ride on board now. Through the right, left, right. He's a little bit away from the apex there, but it will cost him, and again there with the second apex, it's going to cost him a tenth or two.
I think this is only to get a time on the board. I mean, you might only have 10 minutes, but you do still have 10 minutes.
That is a good point. 5, maybe 6 laps at least. And these tyres aren't going to be completely up to temperature just yet. So this will be the first banked time anyway. A time is a time. If no one else sets one, that will mean you're on pole. So as he locks up into the hairpin. Very bumpy part of the track this. As we come around now to the final few corners. Stay away from the grass on the left hand side. Harsh braking for the final corner. Goes slightly wide again. Prepares the exit as we come back onto the long straight. And that's a 118 for Tim Course's first time. Ben Neal next across the line. 117.3, a second clear of Tim Course at the moment. Ivan Tilmani 119.4, and David Apanga is not setting a lap time on this one. He actually comes back into the pits. So Ben Neal setting the pace at the moment, so we're right on board with him now. Still 2 seconds off of the pace that was set by Jens Lebau. So we should see.
I also noticed this is a bit of a shortened version from which I drove to set like the lap count.
Oh, so we could be a bit of a way off with a lap count, So that'll be interesting.
Oh, he's jumping over that.
He is. That was a lot of curb. That is a very high curb as well. That is not going to be the fastest way around. Probably not going to be his fastest lap. As Tim Course.
Oh, he missed the corner.
Yeah, Ben Neal won't improve on this lap, so he'll go again next time. Will we see an improvement by Tim Course? No, he's a 1.5 seconds down through the second sector.
Tim hit the wall. in turn 3.
So we'll see if they can make any improvements on the 3rd lap.
Oh, Ben Neal missed the last corner as well.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few mistakes. David Apanga still yet to get a time on the board. Ivan Tilmani crosses the line for his 3rd lap now. Drifting wide on the apex there with Tim Course. Looks good through there. Carries a good amount of speed through the right-hander. Again, taking a lot of curb on the entry and the exit. Onto the back straight we go. Oh, that's not going to be the fastest way around. That might even be track limits. That was quite a lot of curb he went over. That's kind of reminded me of turn 1 in Austria, that corner. A lot of curb on the exit.
Yeah. The big thing about the circuit is, especially with circuit car combinations, both the circuit and the car punishes anything that's unsettling.
Definitely. With these high curves, they're not going to want to take that too many times. So we'll see if Tim Course did improve on that lap. He did. 1:17.7, 4/10 off of Ben Neal's best time, who crosses the line now and improves by a further 2/10. Will Ivan Tilmani improve? No, he doesn't. Still 2.2 seconds off the pace. David Apanga, again, still yet to set a time. Any time is a positive time. The only thing that really disagrees with that statement is the 107% rule, which shouldn't come into fruition here. As he approaches the final corner now. Bit deep into there, a lot of curb on the exit, and he spun it. Yep.
Why?
That's gonna cost him. He might have damaged the car slightly. So we'll see if anyone can improve on the fastest lap of a 1:17.1 so far. We saw 2 drivers go faster in practice, and they're both in Group 2. And not an improvement for Tim Course, a 1:18.5 on that last lap. Scared to take that chicane flat out, which is probably taking a hunk of time out of that lap. Again, we're not really seeing any improvements from the other drivers as well. Only a few minutes left to go now in this qualifying session. Group 1. That's better there through the right-hander for Tim Course. Gonna want to make sure he gets a good exit out of the hairpin. Solid braking there, hits the apex. Doesn't take too much curb, that's nice. So far so good on this lap, I think.
Penga finally has a lap time on the board.
1:20 I think that was a 1:23. So he is 3 seconds off the pace as Tim Course goes wide, but that's... Is it going to cost him? Slightly, but he does improve. 1:17.5 now for Tim Course. And Ivan Tilmani is off in the hairpin. Braked too late, I would imagine. Has to hit the runoff. Not sure if he hit any walls in the process, but he'll get away with that one.
Didn't look like it. Well, he has one more.
And Tim Course is slow on this lap, so I don't think he is going to go again. So it's mainly down to Ivan Tilmani, Apanga, and Ben Neal now.
For Ivan, the quali's over.
Ah, yes, he has came into the pits, so just P1 and P4 to look at for now. Ben Neal will come to cross the line for his final attempt. And he doesn't improve. But he did get another lap in. I believe. Or he started another lap anyway. And David Apanga improves into a 1:19.6. So we'll watch on board with Ben Neal now. Oh, a lot of curb on the exit there. And he can't get the car turned in the way that he would want. This might have cost him a bit of time there.
Oh, Tim nearly did a cool thought.
He has binned it. Ben Neal is actually up by a 1/10.5. Oh, taking a lot of curb, and he's hit the wall. So that's going to have cost him all the time that he just gained and more. I think he might abandon this lap. This is his last attempt anyway. And yeah, he does come into the pit. So that's it for Group 1. Give it a few moments and then we'll hand over to Group 2. A few standout names in this group as well. Max Simmons, the championship leader. Habibovic, who did win last time out in Texas. We've also got Benjamin Klaus, who was leading at some point in Texas as well. And Jens Lebau, the only person with a 100% podium record in every race that they've attended so far. So we'll wait for the flag to go green for the second part of qualifying at 12 minutes exactly. If I was a betting man, I'd probably be putting my money on Jens Lebau, but there is a lot of drivers here that we can't really count out.
I mean, Group 2 really is a big circle. Habibovic, Simmons, Lebau, Klaus, all of them.
I think we could have a very interesting battle for the podium here. I think Lebau, Simmons, that's going to get interesting between teammates. We've also got Klaus and Habibovic, who are teammates as well. Habibovic is the leading one out of those two, though. So we have 4, maybe even 5 or 6 drivers who could be fighting for the podium, I think. It's just which way round that happens. Group 2 is now live.
And here they come.
Benjamin Klaus is currently the first man out of the pit lane, followed by Jens
Klaus,
Lebau.
obviously with his shitty luck last week.
Yeah, he was taken out during the race, which cost him quite a few positions, so he's going to want to make sure that he can regain from last weekend.
The question now is, are we actually going to have teammates giving each other slipstream on the long straight? Because I'm surprised we didn't see this in Group 1.
See, that's a good point. The only teammates in Group 1 were Tim Course and Ivan Tilmani, so whether that happened or not, it probably wouldn't have made too much of a difference. The difference is here, though, the faster driver...
Yeah, we have 2 sets of teammates here.
Yeah, and the faster driver out of the Turn 1 teammates is not the championship leader. So, whether they decide to sacrifice Jens for Simmons' championship bid, or whether they just go all out for the win for Jens, is something we'll have to watch. Jens Lebau is now the first man on track, so we'll watch with him for his qualifying lap. We'll see if he does take this chicane flat out. Go down turn 1 now. Not flat out, but he did carry a lot more speed through there.
Who just came out right in front of Jens?
That is Max Simmons, his teammate.
Are they actually going to do it?
If they do, this is perfect timing. As we come round now through the double right left-hander.
The quick S section. They might actually.
And yeah, we come onto the back straight now, or we will in a moment, through the fast right-hander, and yeah, he is going to give a slipstream to Jens Lebau here. And it's very well executed.
Yeah.
Simmons gets out the way. as we approach the harsh braking of the hairpin. That's good for Jens through there. He did lock up slightly, but that's not going to cost him too much. He did take a lot of curb, but it was a good ride through there. As we approach the final corner now. Yeah, a lot of drivers taking that corner deep. Jens Lebau was not one of them. He comes around to cross the line. A 1:15.5 for Jens Lebau.
And now they can play switch horsey.
They can.
If this works out, I know one person who's probably sitting in the same room as the other two in turn 1, who's having a big grin on his face.
We'll see if that does come to happen. I mean, Simmons is a little bit further off than Lebau was on the last lap. So Lebau has slowed down a little bit to make sure that he can give his teammate the slipstream. As we hear a gunshot go off in the background. This is not an American race.
They're playing horse. Yeah, there's one person who's having a big fucking grin on his face about now.
Very well done from the turn 1 guys. Slipstreams for both drivers on their qualifying laps. Let's see if Simmons can set a good time like Jens Lebau. Benjamin Klaus also did set a lap, 1:19 for him. So that puts him P4 at the moment, ahead of Ivan Tilmani. As we approach turn... Oh, the final corner. Oh, no! And Simmons... Oh, that's Jens Lebau. Never mind. Simmons crosses the line now, and it's a 1:16.4, which makes it a turn 1 front row lockout for the time being. The only two drivers who can have any sort of say in whether that actually plays out is Badem Habibovic and Benjamin Klaus, both on track at the moment. So let's see if Habibovic does get a good time on the board. And no, he's came into the pits. Will Klaus set a time though? That is the real question.
No. Or?
Let's see
That's the beginning of the lap. It's the wrong chicane I looked at.
He's two seconds down in the first sector. And that's a lot of curb on the exit as well. That's going to cost him time. He could be improving though, for all we know.
4 minutes remaining already.
And yet only 2 drivers have made a challenge for the pole position. Habibovic is back out on track. Benjamin Klaus is making a few lockups on this lap, so it's probably not going to be as fast as... Yes, it's 3.2 seconds down now, which is slower than his best. He does come into the pits. So who's the closest to the line at the moment? It is Jens Lebau, who will be the first to set a next lap. He's just come out of the pits, so this is his out lap at the moment. Comes round the final few corners now. Prepares his lap beautifully, good out of the final corner. Let's listen to his onboard, see if he lifts or brakes into the first chicane. Downshifted once, and that's very, very much curb on through the chicane, so that's not going to be his fastest lap. Let's see if Habibovic can improve though. 20 seconds off the pace, that is not a proper lap from him. Obviously he's not going to be in the 1:35s. Again, taking a lot of chicane. As Sergio Perez once said, he cut the chicken.
Did he? But to be fair, you can never really count out Habibovic. We saw that last week.
We did. Yeah, Habibovic went from starting on pole... Oh, that's not good through there. Started on pole position, binned it in the formation lap, and still came back to win the race. Very solid driver we have on our hands here.
Hopefully also someone who can have a title bid next season.
Yeah, we are going to see a lot of drivers challenge for that second title, I think. It's not going to be plain sailing for Max Simmons. Sector best, actually, Jens Lebau has improved by 4/10 on his lap.
Oh, and he turns red. He
Yeah,
smacked the wall.
he's pitted on his latest attempt. 116 flat for Simmons. 9/10 off his teammate exactly. What will Habibovic have to say about it? Nothing to challenge the top 2, top 3. He's ahead of his teammate though. 118 for him. Will he improve on this lap? It looks good through there. And he spun it.
He nearly caught it. Ah.
Oh, that's going to be frustrating. He should have another attempt though. He should have time to go around again.
If he gets on with it, he has one more. He has 50 seconds.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Or did we wait? Did we start on 12 or did we started on 12 minutes, right?
Yes, 12 minutes.
Okay, then he has a minute more.
Okay.
I was a minute too fast. Oh.
So, not sure who to watch here now. Benjamin Klaus has improved into the 117s. Good time for him. Not sure who to watch now. Will Habibovic improve and challenge for that pole position, or will Jens Lebau improve further? Maybe
Max Simmons is the first car who's going to be done with quality.
Yep, Max Simmons is done. 8/10 off the pace of pole position. Currently a turn 1 lockout, and so is Habibovic. Habibovic is in. Jens Lebau will be the only man to set a final lap, so we'll watch with him.
Now Benjamin Klaus is also still coming.
Benjamin Klaus is out on track, yes. I correct my mistake.
A nice BMW livery.
Squirrely through there, but he'll get away with that, I think. Not sure if it was the same on his fastest attempt. Oh, and he's hit the wall. No, that's going to be a lap abandoned for Jens Lebau. So the only man who can say anything about pole position being rivaled is Benjamin Klaus. Will he improve on this lap? 3 seconds until he does. Nope, he's not going to challenge for pole position. And he's not going to improve. Oh, he is going to improve very slightly. 117.7 for Benjamin Klaus. He did get around to start a final lap though. Just about. So this will be his last lap. Habibovic is out on track, but he won't make the flag.
Because the flag's already out now. So Klaus is the last one.
Yep. So last chance saloon for Benjamin Klaus. P5 at the moment ahead of Tim Gorse. 2/10 will take him ahead. 4/10 will take him into the top 3.
No.
Or 6/10, sorry. As we approach the first of the 2 hairpins. 1016 is the best sector. And he's 3.3 seconds off that, so no, not going to be an improvement for Benjamin Klaus. He is going to try and bank this lap though, maybe he had some time in the final corner. But no, he doesn't improve. So, that's it for quali. Jens Lebau will take pole position, 8/10 ahead of his teammate Max Simmons, the championship leader. Ben Neal will line up in P3, followed by Tim Gorse, the championship rival to Simmons. They will start behind and ahead of each other. Benjamin Klaus and Badam Habibovic will share the third row. Ivan Tilmani and Apanga will start on the 4th and final row here today. And so we'll have a rolling start. We will have a rolling start anyway. $30 to go now. And there is a lot of fog I am seeing. I don't think it's too much for us, but whether the drivers feel differently is another thing. We'll have 38 laps of racing in Adelaide after the rolling start. So the race director will join the front of the field and we'll go away for the rolling start. Here it is, a turn 1 front row lockout. So the drivers are going to want to make sure they get any tyre temp into the car as possible. Because if they don't, that first chicane is going to be a bit daunting. Few more corners now until the formation lap is over. We will see the safety car peel into the pits. Jens Lebau will become the effective safety car, and by roll into the pits I mean crash into that turn. But yes, the field will bunch up before the formation lap is finished. As you can see there, all cars present and ready to go racing. Through the final corner we go. And we are green, green, green. Jens Lebau gets us away. It's a good start for him. Good start for Ben Neal as well. He's closing on the back of Max Simmons. Max Simmons is actually taking the chicane wide, and so did Habibovic. But it's a good start for the turn 1 drivers. Get away cleanly. Ben Neal will settle in behind. He's got Tim Kors on his back though. And Habibovic dropping away from that pack a little. He's got his teammate Benjamin Klaus right behind him. David Apanga and Ivan Tamani will round out the grid. And they're just falling away a little bit from the top 6. And they've both actually just gone off track now. Fighting for this position. P7 on the road. Ivan Tamani has it at the moment. Oh, sorry. David Apanga has it at the moment. Oh, and Ivan Tamani almost spins it through the fast right-hander. Apanga will keep it for the time being.
Oh, Ben Neal is still there.
He is just about on the back of Max Simmons. So he's catching the turn 1 driver, the championship leader. Jens Lebau is having none of it though. He's got away brilliantly, almost into the back of Max Simmons. Will he make a move? He's not close enough just yet. Tim Kors falling away slightly. And that's a lot of track limits for Ben Neal. And so for Tim Kors. Tim Kors is in the wall. took a lot of grass on that chicane. That's not the fastest way around the track. So Tim Course is down to 8th. Tried to replicate what Ben Neal did, and it just didn't work. Both of them went very wide there.
Wells is letting Tilmani back through. What the fuck are they doing?
Not sure what's happening here.
There might have been an overtake under full court. I don't know what they're doing. Or if they're getting... Oh, Penga was on Delta, probably.
Possibly, yeah. But that's good for Bibovic. He's back up to P4. Through that full course yellow, which will go any moment now. Simmons right on the back of his teammate. Full course yellow, Delta penalty for David Apanga. You were right.
Yeah, that was to be expected.
Turn 1 leaders, will they make a challenge for the lead? Max Simmons? No, he's going to let his teammate get away with that one. He's going to fight off the back of Ben Neal. Will he be able to defend off of the Brit for much longer? The pace is looking with Neal for the time being. But it is only lap 2. We come round now for lap 3.
I mean, the big question is how long are gonna Ben Neal's alternates gonna survive before they go bye-bye?
We do have the rule of both tyre compounds needing to be used, so it is whether he comes in early and takes the brunt on the primes, or whether he tries to stick it out on them. He's dropped off the back of Simmons now, who is still within a second of his teammate. Tim Course has passed Ivan Tilmani. And the gaps will begin to open up ever so slightly. David Apanga ahead of Benjamin Klaus. But Ben Neal, he's still closing in on Simmons through the final sector. He's gone wide though into the final corner. That's going to cost him time. Drop back a few tenths through there. 117's being set by the leading pair. Benjamin Klaus still within a second of David Apanga. Both running it really wide through that chicane. And the gap opens up just a little bit now. Leading 3, all within 2.5 seconds. They've dropped Bibovic now by 3 seconds. So it is primarily a battle between these three. A lot of curb there being taken by Neal. Klaus has got past David Apanga.
Oh,
and he's gone wide. He's gone wide, and David Apanga will take that position back for now.
Told you.
Yeah, you did. You did. And we'll see if Apanga can fend this off for too long. Through the final few corners now. The gap is about 0.8 of a second, closing through the final corner. Great exit for Benjamin Klaus. Not so good for David Apanga.
Not in the chicane.
And no, he's just gonna let him bite. Yeah. I think he realises that fight really isn't his fight today.
But Ben is still with Max Simmons.
In fact, he's got closer on this lap. 0.8 now, sort of. It was around 7. It's now down to about 0.6. Simmons not great through this part of the track. This is where he's losing the most times to his teammate. Ben Neal's taking loads of curb through there on this lap again. I think Neal goes wide. That's going to cost him time. Gap up to over a second now. Yeah, I was about to say, I think this is really coming down to a difference in setups. We're seeing Simmons a lot faster on the straights, but Neil is much quicker in that more technical middle sector.
Might also still be the tie.
Possibly. More than likely. Ivan Tilmani now 2 seconds off the back of Tim Course. They swap positions quite a few times. Tim Course setting 1:18s. That's a second off the pace of the leading man. And Ben Neal. Gap is growing slightly to Max Simmons in P2. 6 seconds behind him.
We have a stacking of teammates currently. Lebao, Simmons, Habibovic, Klaus, Kvos, Tilmani.
The only real exceptions to that rule is Zapanga and Neal.
Yeah, let's blame Ferreira for that.
And Tim Course has caught onto the back of David Apanga as well. The gap now down to under a second. Tilmani dragging behind them as well. So we should see.
Remember, Opanga's in his 3rd race currently.
Yeah, Tim Course in his 7th in IndyCar. So almost double, or over double the experience, and Apanga goes off. Apanga goes off, and that will concede the position to not one but 2 drivers as Ivan Tilmani goes through as well. Habibovic has lost out to position of Benjamin Klaus as well. I don't know if he had an off through the final corner, but his lap was 4 seconds slower than Benjamin Klaus. He must have had an off. He's taken a lot of grass there as well. David Apanga and Ivan Tilmani still fighting for position. They're almost pushing each other along. Oh, and they do touch.
Oh.
Tilmani forces Apanga a little bit deep, but he'll keep the position for now. Two tenths separate them as they come into the faster part of the track. Tilmani takes a lot of grass through there. It's clean through there though. I think Tilmani will have a good exit. Not close enough to make a threat for position. He's gone deep, Tilmani. We've seen that happen with Ben Neal, and Ben Neal's actually just set a 1:17.3. I think that's the fastest lap of the race so far, if not one of. And there's still 4 tenths the battle for 7th place at the moment. 4 tenths between them as we cross the line. And both go really wide.
This is huge points for each and single one of them, so...
They're going to want to make sure that every position counts! And Tilmani forces Apanga off track. And so Tilmani will keep the position for now, but whether the stewards will have a look at that, we'll have to find out after the race. Now,
a little nudge of friendship.
Interesting thing here, the gap between Ben Neal and Benjamin Klaus, 15 seconds in 8 laps. So the leading 3 are definitely not just pulling away, but flying away. We are seeing the drivers behind make a lot of mistakes, though, as Tim Course is on the back of Habibovic. He is catching. He's probably going to make a move for position any time now. Oh, and they touch! They touch! Tim Course has gone into the back of Habibovic. Safety car is out. Until Tilmani goes off the track in the process ever so slightly. He'll gain 2 positions from that. He'll just say thank you very much. And the pack will come to close. So we'll have a safety car now. All drivers must bunch up. So that's already come to fruition for the first 2 drivers. 7 tenths now, they're doing okay. Ben Neal will join the back of them. And then it's a long, long gap to Benjamin Klaus in P4. We do have a safety car, don't we?
Yep.
I was thinking then, because I didn't really see anyone slowing, but regardless. Gap is closing now to Benjamin Neal for Benjamin Klaus. Battle of the Benjamins. When they go live anyway. And there we go. Top 5, top 6 now caught up with the safety car. Tim Course as well. And David Apanga has actually pitted. So it will take a moment for him to catch up.
That will also take him a drive-through.
I was going to say, yeah, I wasn't sure if the pit lane was closed or open. I didn't want to say anything. But, yeah, I was thinking that. So yeah, he'll get a drive-through for entering the pit lane while it's closed. Pit lane is now open, of course. So when we do go green, David Apanga will get a drive-through penalty. The other drivers, though, will now take their chance at swapping tyres.
That corner is really hard in this car.
I do think we might see Neil come into the pits. I think he's going to go long on the primes. I could be vastly wrong. No, he doesn't come in. Never mind. No one's coming in, actually. Oh, Tim Course does. Tim Course is coming into the pits. David Apanga's also in for a second stop.
Can you see if he's doing a drive-through or not?
No, he's not. He's in the pits.
Oh, so he's pitting again. Okay.
Yep. So Tim Course has probably... see if he's switched onto the primes. I think he was on the alternates. Yes, he's on the primes now. And so, considering... well, David Apanga is actually still in the pits. He must be taking some damage repair. Because that's
I wouldn't be surprised if he drove through the pit lane the first time because he realized, wait, it's closed. But that's sadly not how that works.
Yeah. Potentially. Would be unfortunate for him. But the rules are the rules. Yeah, he's in that pits for a long time. And he does begin to make his way out now. He has changed tyres as well.
Okay, I made an oopsie. I do apologize. The circuit is really hard in this car.
One third through the race now. Still 20, 25, 24 laps to go. We just wait for Panga to catch up. Still no one a lap down, which is good to see. Everyone on the lead lap as it stands. Getting spammed with emails by AliExpress, not interested. Panga is just making his way through the first sector now. Still a while yet. Drivers beginning to weave to get that tyre temp in, especially Benjamin Klaus. He's going to want a good restart here. Should be the final lap under the safety car. If we do bunch up the field, which he should do any second now. He is coming around the final, the first few corners. And yeah, we can hear Apanga arriving now. There he is at the back of the screen. And there we go. Safety car will be in this lap. So it's as it was for the top two, top three. Turn 1 leading since lap 1. Turn 1 leading since turn 1, lap 1. As the safety car.
Perfectly parked.
Yep. Not unsafe. And yeah, we should go green this lap. Jens Lebauer will lead us away for the second time. When will he go though is the question. Max Simmons has a battle behind him. Two Benjamins trying to take his position on the podium. Trying to break the turn 1-2. Jens Lebauer, he is away. Oh, and Benjamin Neal, there's a massive crash at the back. Habibovic is round. Tilmani is round. Benjamin Neal, he did go off track. I'm not sure what happened there. We have another safety car. I think we just had our own Mugello 2020. I think the front didn't go, but the back thought that they did. And we're under safety car again. Really want to see what happened on that restart, because I'm very confused as to how that came to fruition, because It was these four-ish drivers involved. I don't think Apanga necessarily, but Tilmani, Habibovic and Tim Course all went round. Ben Neal went round as well, but he's still in third, so I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, we'll bunch up again. Pit lane is open. Drivers 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, top 2 don't pit. Ben Neal is in though. Would imagine he received some sort of damage in there. So we'll see him come into the pits. Tim Course and Benjamin Klaus go ahead of him. Apanga will as well. Ivan Tilmani and Habibovic have also pitted. Benjamin Neal is away, so he'll go back up to P6. And the last car is now out of the pits, so wouldn't imagine this safety car to be as long as the first one. We just wait for the field to bunch up. Oh, Tim Course and Apanga just went slightly wide, but they'll be fine. No contact, so that's all good. David Apanga comes into the pits again for the third time.
Probably to serve the drive-through.
Yep, that will be to serve the drive-through, yep. And yep, through he goes. So I would imagine yep, pack all bunched up, looking good. And so again, top 2 unchanged. This time there is a change for third position. It is the other Benjamin, but the difference being Ben Neal pitted for new tyres. Everyone now on primes, apart from Ivan Tilmani on the alternates. So we still do have a few drivers who have to pit in this race, the top 3 mainly. And for the third time in this race, Jens Lebau will lead us away. As we come round now through the final few corners. And he's go. Jens Lebau is away, so is Simmons, so is Klaus, so is Tim Course. We're all green and safe on this one. All drivers got away well. Closest battle on track, Tim Course and Benjamin Klaus. Or sorry, Benjamin Neal, the other one. They do have Habibovic closing though, so Ben Neal needs to make sure he gets this one done as soon as possible. These two were very close in qualifying, so we'll see who gets on top in the race.
To be fair, Ben just needs to be in the queue and hope there's no more caution, because the top two still need to pit.
The top two still do need to pit, and Tim Course is off the track. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but he's not cost him position. The thing is though, for Neal, the two cars directly ahead of him, oh sorry, Tim Course at least has pit. He has passed Benjamin Klaus now as well, so the car behind, he has the two Bens in his rear.
Oh, the battle of the Bens.
Battle of the Bens. Big Ben and German Ben.
Okay, that's the new one. That's...
Oh, Tim Course! He's off track. Very wide through the final corner. Habibovic has done the same. Benjamin Klaus is up now to P3, as he was a few laps ago. Benjamin Neal has got past Tim Course as well. Habibovic still ahead of Tilmani Hill. Habibovic is in the wall. Full course yellow has been deployed. So effectively the drivers will neutralise. We'll just have a breather. We'll have a safety car. Big hit into the wall though for Habibovic. Very big hit. Probably sustained some sort of damage from that. Well,
wheel still looks straight though. That's good.
Let's yeah, wheel is straight. He is able to turn the car, so that's good. We'll see.
I mean, the circuit is exactly what everyone thought it would be. It's just gonna be mistake mayhem.
Yeah. Full course yellow will end any second now. These three drivers are very close in the battle for P3.
Who gets the best launch? It's on
Oh,
the straight.
Ben Neal's got 5 seconds for full course yellow speeding. But he's going to take the position here anyway. He's got a great start. After that full course yellow, he's taken P3.
Oh, Benjamin Klaus also. Both Bens!
Both Bens have got 5 seconds. This is great for Tim Course. He's pitted and effectively is ahead of these two as it stands. David Apanga gets 5 seconds as well. So Ben Neal back up to P3 where he was since the start, but this time it's different because he's got a 5-second penalty. So's the car behind him. Oh, someone's round! It's Tim Course! Tim Course is round. He's hit the wall. He's done similar to Habibovic, but not in the same place. Well, pretty much is the same place. It's just one corner away.
This wheel also still looks straight.
Ooh.
Is Opanga letting Tim by, or is he also on Delta again?
I would imagine it's Delta. We shouldn't be letting him by. Full course yellow will end. There's 5 tenths between the top two. Will we see a change of lead here? Full course yellow goes now. 5 seconds for Ivan Tilmani as well. Apanga has let Tim Course through. The top two, as close as it's been, 4 tenths is the gap. Now, the job now for Ben Neal and Ben Klaus, get as far away from Tim Course as you can, because they need to open that gap, that 5 seconds gap, as much as possible. Especially Benjamin Klaus, who hasn't pitted yet, but the gap is coming down actually. It's down to 8 tenths of a second now between these two. A lot of slide through that corner there for Tim Course. He's sliding all over the place. Wonder if that's as a result of some damage from the last collision. But nevertheless, he is gaining on Benjamin Klaus. Four tenths is the gap now as we come down the main long straight. Two tenths as we approach the braking zone. He's got to go for a move. Benjamin Klaus lets him by. Almost make contact, but they get away with that one. David Apanga and Ivan Tilmani have collided. They've both spun, but they've both gotten away, so that'll be okay. As we rejoin with Klaus and Kors. Fastest lap being set by Jens Lebau, 1:16.6.
Oh, Ivan,
And Benjamin Klaus isn't letting this one go.
I mean, Ivan just did the casual, if I can't pass you on the inside because I keep hitting you, I'll just use the outside.
And he's going to try again. David Apanga down the inside. Very nice move there. They're still fighting for position. There's two fights going on at the same time. Apanga slightly wider than Tilmani. That will cost him a little bit of time. Tilmani will force himself down that outside. Not going to work though. Tilmani's still there. David Apanga slow through there. Ivan Tilmani's right on the back of him. And he goes very wide through the fast right-hander, which means Ivan Tilmani's dropped off a little bit. Benjamin Klaus now 3 seconds off the back of Tim Kors, which is good for Tim, but not for Ben. It's also not good for the other Ben. Tim Kors will probably begin closing up. Gap 1.5 between the top two now. Apanga and Tilmani's still fighting. Tilmani has taken that position back. Will Apanga go for a move? No, he doesn't. But Tilmani's gone very deep into there. That's invited Apanga back for the move. He's not going to get it. Very close there for Apanga. Almost lost control of the car. Oh, he has lost control of the car. David Apanga's in the wall. But he's got away safely.
Abibovic pitted again.
Yep, Abibovic now 50 seconds off of the race lead.
And nearly in the wall, holy.
They are cutting it very close with these curbs, aren't they? Gaps are pretty high for the rest of the field though. In fact, a lot of the field. Closest gap now is between the top two, and that's 2 seconds.
This is pretty much just gonna be keep the car out of the damn wall.
Yep, whoever does the cleanest race will probably win this. But that pace being set by Jens Lebau is frightening, to say the least. Abibovic has got past David Apanga. So I think Apanga's made another mistake somewhere. He is now a lap down. Oh, I think he might have pitted because he is now a lap down from most cars.
Fun fact of the day. I just thought I'll throw it in there while nothing's going on. Real Madrid lost to Betis Sevilla.
Yeah, because they've got Anthony.
I guess it got man of the match in one football again.
Anthony?
Yeah.
My goat.
Man leads the man of the match vote by 20,000.
Oh my god. Tearing it up. I mean, we wouldn't expect Ben Neal to pit again. We wouldn't expect Tim Kors to pit again. So Ben Neal's job now is open that gap to more than 5 seconds to keep that P3.
The biggest thing for the turn 1 cars now is that hopefully no one bins it and there's no full course yellow, because otherwise they'll both get drive-throughs if they have to pit.
Yes, they do. They do still need to pit. Yeah, you're right. So that's actually gonna be very interesting. Ben Neal's 10 seconds off the race lead, but he has pitted. The top two haven't, so they'll come out behind Neal and probably a few other cars. But whether they can get past them again, more than likely considering their pace. Neither of them diving in just yet. 14 laps to go. .117's being set by the leading pair. What will Ben Neal do on this lap? Can he match that? 118's, nope, second a lap slower than the leading man, 4/10 slower than Max Simmons. Habibovic briefly stopped on track. He is away now. He's actually about to be lapped by Lebao and Simmons. It's about
Pulls hit the wall.
Oh, he did. 6 seconds now off the back of Ben Neal. So that'll drop him out of the provisional P3.
.13 laps to go. I think Habibovic now just hopes that they're actually finally pitting. And then a caution comes out, he can catch the whole lap back, and then everything's still looking better suddenly.
I think, yeah, Habibovic, he doesn't want to lose that lead lap, because if we do get a safety car, yeah, he'll be right on the back again. And there is a few cars ahead of him who are arguably slower. So he could still cruise up to P5, P6, maybe even higher. Tilmani's in the wall, and so is a Panga. I think that's a, yep, safety car. We have a safety car. I think Tilmani was about to be lapping a Panga, and they're both in the wall at the same place. We have a safety car, and now this is going to be very interesting. We have 11 laps to go, and our race leader Jens Lebao and his teammate Max Simmons behind him haven't pitted yet. Ben Neal has, so he'll, if they do pit, he'll take that position. However, we do have to play into account that 5-second penalty. So, as it stands, this is great news for Tim Kors.
We also need to play into account that the pit lane opens when the field is bunched up, or mostly bunched up.
Yeah, so it is going to be a moment yet before we do have the pit lane open. This is great news for Tim Kors, because if the leading two pit, Ben Neal stays out, has the 5-second penalty though. Tim Kors will stay out. He'll take the effective race lead if he finishes, or he will take the race lead if he finishes ahead, at least 5 seconds behind Ben Neal. So if he wins this race and Simmons is P3, P4, that's a massive gain in the championship. Massive gain. If I have a look at results, it'd be about a 20-point swing. There or thereabouts anyway, in favour of Tim Kors. which will halve the gap between the top two. The
And
top
they're
two
pitting.
do come in.
They will all get drive-throughs.
The top three have all pitted, and the pit lane is not open.
What is this?
They've just thrown away the 1-2. Wow. This is Ivan Tilmani's on the podium as it stands. Max Simmons, Ben Neal, Jens Lebau will probably all get, well, they will all get drive-throughs, correct me if I'm wrong. Habibovic, he's not a lap down, so he will catch up and take these positions from the three ahead of him. David Apanga is a lap down though. So, where's my sound? Oh, massive gunshot. What the hell?
Can you copy paste my message that I sent for David earlier and put Max, Jens, and Ben in there?
I can type it out. Hang on. Oh, this is going to be a type and a half.
You can just copy paste it and replace the names.
It doesn't let me copy paste. There we go. So, race leader now will be Tim Kors, followed by Ivan Tilmani in P2, followed by Benjamin Klaus in P3. Well, it will be after the drive-throughs are taken. Habibovic will move up to P4. Then it will be, assuming the order they're on track is the order that they'll come out from the drive-throughs, it'll be Lebau in 5th. Then Simmons in 6th. Neal in 7th. Apanga, since losing that lead lap, will be P8. So Tim Kors, the effective and present race leader, will lead us away.
They threw it. They really threw it away.
I am very confused as to what the decision was there. But regardless, we'll have a safety car restart. 9 laps to go. Simmons, Lebeau have pitted for their drive-through.
Ben Neal hasn't.
Ben Neal hasn't. Tim Kors has led us away. Tilmani in P2.
They were last for most of the race.
And now they're going to potentially be on the podium. Ben Neal's going to try and go for a move. He has a drive-through. Tim Kors now, his job is just to speed away as much as he can. And this race is in the bag for him. Simmons and Lebao.
Luckily it's short. They're already at the back again.
Hang on, this is interesting. They've taken their drive-through, and they're only 5 seconds off the race lead.
The pit lane is incredibly short. Tim's gone.
Tim is flying away. He's going as fast as he can. He knows if he does this well, this race is in the bag. Ben Neal locks up, goes deep. Habibovic P5, then P6 is David Apang, or P8, sorry. They've got Simmons and Lebeau right in tow. Tilmani now down to P4. P3 on the road. Ben Neal still has not pitted. Simmons and Jens Lebeau have joined the back of the pack. The man who can stop them from taking a 1-2 next is Badem Habibovic. Here we go, Habibovic. All he has to do now is hold up these two cars. He's still in a championship fight, mathematically.
They made it interesting, and now let's see how that turns out. They're on far better tires. The only one who can match them tire-wise is Habibovic.
And here we go. This is going to be interesting. Habibovic goes to the inside to try and defend it. Simmons tries to bite. Isn't happening.
Yeah.
Jens Lebeau is also interested. The turn one cars, they're going either side of Habibovic. Will either of them make a move? Habibovic goes defensive.
Not happening. Not happening for Habibovic.
Lebeau around the outside and they touch. Habibovic is in the wall. Full course yellow is deployed. Lebeau
like
and
Beach.
Simmons, they've gotten past one. Full course yellow is out. 8 seconds to the race lead. Ben Neal and Tim Course are changing position here. Ben Neal's got the race lead, but I don't think that happened on track. We'll have to clarify that. And so, with 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, full course yellow is ending. 10 seconds is the gap from P5. Jens Lebeau's got a 5 seconds for speeding. That's it. It's over. It's not happening. He is not catching 10 seconds and then passing. It's down to 3 seconds. Never mind. What is going on? The top 3 are separated by less than a second. Jens Lebeau and Max Simmons are now 2 seconds behind this battle. Benjamin Klaus is the next person to deny them this victory.
What is going on? What is this race in the end again?
Benjamin Neal needs to pit for his drive-through. He's not in the race lead. Tim Course is the effective race leader. If he wins this race, it's a massive swing in the championship battle. If, and that's a huge if, we've seen so much happen in this race, we thought it was guaranteed for Jens Lebeau. It's not. It's just not. Jens Lebeau now is on the back of Benjamin Klaus. Will he make a move as soon as possible? Not into the final corner. No, that's not happening. Tim Course is still there though, with the 2 cars behind him. Simmons has dropped off by quite a margin on this lap. Benjamin Neal is on his last chance for his drive-through. Benjamin Klaus and Jens Lebeau.
Oh.
He's got to try his way up the inside. That's not happening. Benjamin Klaus is fighting this with everything he has.
He's not letting him. He's not letting him.
He's sniffing. It's German v... Is he German? Yes, it's German v German v German. Who's gonna win this? Jens Lebeau. He's making a move on Benjamin Klaus. through the faster. He's done it. He's done it. Jens Lebauer is past Benjamin Klaus. Now the battle is now between Tim Kors and Jens Lebauer for the race lead, but Simmons is still there as well. Klaus is going down the inside. Can he force Jens Lebauer into a mistake? No, but he goes slightly deep himself. Switch back for Jens Lebauer. It's available. It's there for the taking. They almost made contact. Nothing going yet. Klaus is back up to P3, and Tim Kors is saying thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Jens Lebauer down the inside he goes. Benjamin Klaus, he's lost one position now.
This is extraordinary.
Oh, they almost touch. Simmons, he has to get past Klaus now to reduce that championship deficit. He does. He's forced his way up the inside, but it switches back. Klaus now has the inside, and he's going to force him as wide. He's going to force him into the wall. Lebauer is now 2/10 off the race lead. Kors, he has to win this. They made contact. Tim Kors is off the track. Jens Lebauer leads this race, but he has a 5 seconds. Tim Kors is now down a place from Benjamin Klaus as well. The top 4 are now reduced to around a second between them.
Jens probably tried letting Tim back through for the notch, and now Benjamin Klaus is there. He's going
down the inside. Benjamin Klaus, he's gone too deep. Jens Lebauer will say thank you. I'll have that again. And Klaus is in the wall. He's off the track. Kors will go through. Simmons will go through. Klaus will rejoin at the back of that 4. 4 laps to go now. A second between the top 2. Simmons, he has to overtake Tim Kors. After having a drive-through, he may still finish ahead of his championship rival. Will he make a move down into the inside? No, he won't. It switches. Who has the inside on this turn? No one. No move going yet. Tim Kors is biding his time. Oh, sorry, Max Simmons is biding his time.
He has to. He's kind of playing with the race ring here. Tim makes a mistake.
Tim does make a mistake, but that's still inviting Simmons closer and closer. Jens Lebauer, the gap now is over a second and a half. If he gets that to 5 seconds, he will win this race. But Tim Kors is still very much in the driver's seat for that. Three laps to go now. Oh no. 36, 37, 38, 39. 4 laps to go. No, 37, 38, 39. Yeah, 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. Simmons, he's tried to make his way around Tim Kors. That's not happening. Klaus is now right on the back of Simmons again. Will he make a move? No. It's not happening around the outside there. Jens Lebauer is now 3.5 seconds ahead of Tim Kors. He needs one more good lap, and that's it. Tim Kors it's not happening. 4.2 seconds is the gap between the top 2.
And now here comes Simmons on the button.
Gaining as we approach the hairpin. Nope, not happening. Not happening here. Tim Kors still in P2, but the gap now 4.4 seconds.
I'm pretty sure Tim couldn't care less what's happening with Jens. He's only there to keep Max behind.
He is, but if he wins this race, that's even more of a gain. They almost touch. Simmons, he's going to get a great drive out of the final corner. Tim Kors is going to try and fight this one as much as he can. They're neck and neck going into the first corner. Who's going to take it? They both go slightly off track. Simmons, is he going to force a way down the inside? No, not looking there. 2 laps to go. 6.4 is the gap out ahead. Jens Libau is likely going to win this race unless something magical happens.
Tim doesn't care about Jens. This is all about Max now. This is all about Max.
If Tim Kors finishes second here, he will take a bite out of Max Simmons' championship lead with 3 rounds to go. Ben Neal's catching right on the back of these as well. The gap between them is only 2 seconds, but Simmons is going to try and go down the inside. Is he going to get it? No. Tim Kors stays ahead, but he goes off track.
This is amazing. Oh, nearly another nudge.
Tim Kors is going to stay ahead. Final lap. Final lap.
All of them still have push to pass.
Jens Libau has set a 1 minute 15.9. Tim Kors, he's gone slightly off track. Simmons, he's not going to get that position. Klaus is going to try and fight it around the outside. Is he going to take the position? No, he's going to go wide instead. Simmons stays ahead. Ben Neal's now here as well.
Who cares about Jens winning on comeback? What is this?
Is it going to be a turn 1-1-2, or is it going to be a bite out of the championship cherry for Tim Kors? 4 drivers in this battle for P2. Make that 3. Ben Neal's off. Final lap, and Simmons is going to go try around the outside. They almost made contact. He's ahead. Is he going to try and break later, Tim Kors? Yes, he does. They made contact again.
He's not having it. Jens is in the last corner.
Jens Libau, after a drive-through penalty, wins in Adelaide. A dominant display from him, but who's going to finish second? Tim Kors breaks late. Max Simmons, is he going to take P2? This is going to go to the line. Tim Kors finishes P2.
500ths of a second.
Less than a 1/10 of a second between the 2 and 3. Benjamin Klaus will finish P4. P5 will go to Ben Neal. After all that, Ivan Tilmani will finish P6. Habibovic P7. David Apanga in P8. And ladies and gentlemen, I must take a break. For I have a lump in my throat. What a race. After all that. Jens Libau wins in Adelaide. What a comeback. Tim Kors in P2. He fought hard. He fought well. He will take a small slice out of that championship from Max Simmons. Simmons again extends his podium record. All but 1 race still. Benjamin Klaus finishes ahead of not only his teammate but Benjamin Neal and Ivan Tilmani. Habibovic, that's probably going to be one of the least memorable races in his career. What a race here in Adelaide. And after all that, the man who started on pole wins the race. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. Thank you very much for joining. We hope to see you next weekend. And yeah, we'll see you next time out.